I think that'll be fine. It's far enough in the back. I don't think it'll pick it up. But, yeah. I don't know what to talk about. We could honestly even talk about the stuff we talked about yesterday. Just because, I don't know how good the flow was yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we had a lot of interruptions and that kind of stuff. But first, it's been lovely being up here.
Yeah.
In Vermont. Yeah. It's been a rainy weekend, but it's still nice. It's cozy and quiet.
I just love how rural Vermont is. Mm-hmm. And, given that we're really into, homesteading stuff, it's just so much fun being up here because there's so much, homesteading stuff everywhere.
You remember the pigs?
Yeah. Yeah, yesterday we drove by, I wouldn't even say it was a big farm. It was like a homestead. Yeah. And these people had these 2 big pigs in a pen. And 5 cows. Yep, some cows.
Probably other things. We just drove by it. Mm-hmm. And their house was, nothing fancy, but they had, just the perfect layout for, a mini farm homestead.
Yeah. And just, there's so many properties up here that you could do that with. Mm-hmm. They're everywhere. So it's fun just, driving around and,
Yeah, every time we're up here, we're convincing ourselves to move here. That's what we always say.
Yep. But, we're at my family's cabin. Mm. And I don't know, I've had this pointed out to me before, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. If you were to move to this area, it'd take away
your vacation
spot. And then, you wouldn't have a place to, escape to, on the weekends.
You can always have a place to escape to. It's just...
Yeah.
We'll just keep our place in New Hampshire. That can be our new escape. Just kidding. No, I'm just teasing.
But, I don't know.
I told you the type of place I'd want to escape to. I like those, campgrounds that people live at year-round.
Yeah?
The one that's not far from where we live.
Really? With, the single-wide trailers?
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a sick escape in the summer.
Yeah, I bet that would be
Plus,
fun.
it's I don't know, every time I've been to a place like that, and I mean, I guess I don't mean, the year-round ones, but it wouldn't be bad to have one just in the summer. Or a campsite that you have, and you can park your RV or whatnot.
Yeah, I think you're a more social butterfly than me, though. If I'm escaping, I want to escape people, too. I don't want to just go somewhere where people are right on top of me.
And I'm let's go where people are.
Yeah. I absolutely loved your dad's cabin that he had years ago. He doesn't have it anymore, but it was in the wilderness of the Colorado Rockies, and just the wildlife you'd see going up there, the dirt roads getting up there. To me, that was the ideal. That was the ideal cabin property area.
And it's off grid. There was we didn't watch TV up there. We were completely unplugged.
Yeah.
So it had the generator that was on solar and stuff. So if you really wanted to, you could make it work. But honestly, every time we were up there, I don't know, there was something nice. You'd be ready for bed by 8 p.m. and up at sunrise, and it was just nice.
It was nice. I did like that.
It was enough property to even have a shooting range on, which was nice and fun. The neighbor's property, fenced along, had 2 horses that we would always give treats to.
And I remember the property to the north of your dad's cabin property. They had 2 bulls, 2 just giant bulls that would lay in the their front pasture.
Jake's obsessed with bulls.
Yes, I like bulls.
I
want cows, dude. I don't have any means to take care of cows, but I would love to have cows.
But there's this viral bull that's on YouTube Shorts and TikTok named Rufus.
Yeah, Rufus the Bull. That's what it's called.
And Jake is definitely the number 1 fan.
No. There's a lot of people that watch him.
I know, but I still swear you're the number 1 fan.
Yeah, dude.
You get so excited when there's a new video, and you're like, Erica, look at this, and I know instantly it's going to be Rufus. You don't show me anything else.
Yep.
It
makes
cute.
Me want cows.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He looks dangerous.
Yeah. But, oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, even in the videos, they show you you got to be aware around bulls, and you need to be cautious.
Oh, yeah, they'll kill you.
It'd be a lot of research and stuff if we ever had bulls.
Yeah. I knew somebody, like, I didn't really know them. They were, like, an acquaintance, but they were kind of trying to do, like, the homesteading thing, and they got a cow, and then they got rid of their homestead, like, 6 months into doing it, and they had to get rid of the cows and all this stuff. So it just sounds to me like these are people that wanted to, and then pulled the trigger on it, and then realized how hard it was going to be.
Yeah, I'll say that you and I, like, well, I mean, I guess you didn't have to do as much research into chickens because you grew up with them your whole life.
Yeah.
But before we got ducks, we did really research what we needed, what would be ideal for them.
Yeah.
Whether they can be in the same coop or not, and, you know.
And this might not be the case for most people, but I feel like when it comes to, like, livestock, like, if you're getting livestock for your homestead and you have no experience, there is, like, a progression that you need to make. Like, you need to start with, like, either rabbits or chickens.
Yeah.
And, like, once you understand how much work that is, which is, those are the easiest, two things of, like, livestock to raise.
Easiest and cheapest.
Yeah. Once you realize how much work that is, then you can kind of scale from there what you can actually handle. Because, like, that's another thing with goats is, like, goats clearly aren't as hard as, like, cows or horses. Mm-hmm. But goats are still, they're more than chickens, for sure. So it's like, you know, some people, I think, jump right into goats when they have chickens and stuff, not realizing how much extra work that is and extra supplies and, like, knowledge that you need to have. I don't know about pigs.
But I honestly think that's with any animal. Not just
livestock stuff.
Livestock, but, like,
I would agree.
You know, like, I think even us, we were really young when we got our first dog together. Like, we grew up with dogs, so we you know, we're young. We're like, oh, we know what kind of work this takes.
Yeah.
Not really realizing just how much our parents did.
Yeah.
And I can tell you our one dog has faked injuries twice and cost us upwards of $1,000 each vet visit because they were emergency vet visits.
Yeah, the first one he straight up faked. The second one, I think he was just being dramatic. He wasn't, like, faking it. I think he had it, but it wasn't like he was embellishing how bad it was.
He's kind of a wimp.
The first one, the vet was actually like, because he wasn't, we were running in the yard. I don't know if I've told this story on here before, but I'll tell it now. So we were running in the yard.
And he's a puppy.
When he was a puppy. He was running around, I was running around with him. I went around the back of the shed. And he ran around the other side of the shed, and we collided, and he hurt his front, like, paw or leg. For the next 24 hours, he would not walk on this leg. He had it, like, curled up to his chest, and he was walking around on 3 legs and would whimper if he, like, tried to put the leg down. So I thought he, like, actually hurt his leg pretty bad.
Well, especially because initial contact, too.
Yeah.
Initial contact, he, like, yelped and screamed, like, enough to make me come out of the house, and our neighbors come out, like...
Yep. So we brought him to the vet thinking that ultimately, like, he injured his front leg or something like that. The vet looks at it, and the vet said, try to force him to walk. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. He might have just hurt it or, like, sprained it or something. Try to get him to, like, force him to walk on it, because he's not walking on it. Maybe he just needs to, realize it's okay and that he can walk on it. So she forced him a little bit, like, pulled his leg down, like, made him walk on it in the vet clinic.
Such a baby.
Dude, we walked out to the car and he was 100% fine.
Well, it's so funny.
After
he limped out of the store and then
jumped into the car and then realized he was fine. And I was like, are you kidding me? It cost me like $1,000. And he was completely fine. He literally just needed to be reminded his leg worked.
Well, and the way the vet said it, she goes, he's a puppy, so it's probably his first time feeling hurt, so he doesn't know how to react.
Yeah. Poor Watson, dude.
Poor Watson. But like I'm saying, like, we're not, like, I just wish when he was a puppy I did more things. Like, we went to more dog parks and socialized him a lot more and exercised him more even, like, because, I mean, he's not, like, at an unhealthy weight or anything, but I definitely don't, I wish I would have researched, like, his breed a little bit more and all that kind of stuff, too.
Yeah, because if we had researched the breed, we would have known kind of a little bit more about his demeanor and what that was going to look like.
Yeah.
Because the breed, they were bred to be guard dogs.
Yeah.
It's an Israeli Canaan. And yeah, they are barkers.
Yeah.
They're always on high alert.
I will say, though, like, it has, like, I don't know if this was mentioned before, but when we were in Dacono, our cars definitely got broken into, and Watson barked, and I don't think they had time to get anything, because that's when we turned on our porch light, and they were gone.
Yeah.
So,
I don't keep anything.
Perks
I don't keep anything in my car worth stealing. Though,
no,
so.
I don't either. That's why, like, honestly, because I would rather them open my door, rummage through my car, and get nothing because I don't have anything in there, than break a window to get nothing, you know, because then there's a $200 fix.
Yeah.
But, and then Rosie, we knew. We knew she was special needs when we adopted her. I don't think we could have fathomed how dumb she was.
Yeah, she's got hip dysplasia and some kind of... The vet said a neurological disease, but I think she's legitimately like a special needs dog.
Yeah.
Like her brain doesn't work or it doesn't function like a
the
normal dog.
Hodor of dogs.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing she wouldn't do for you though. Like she's always smiling. She absolutely loves Jake. Yeah. She loves us both, but you are her person. We feed her and we swear that she eats it all, and then she forgets she was fed.
Yeah.
So, and then she goes for the other dog's food. I think it's wild my dad can just fill his dog bowl and they all share.
Oh, yeah.
Three big, giant-ass dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all just share. They, they graze all day. And you would think, because they're St. Bernards and Mastiffs, and you would think, all his dogs are 100+ pounds. One is 200+ pounds. You would think that he would have to feed them separately. Nope. He has one big bowl he fills and they just take their turns.
Yeah.
And they're good at leaving enough for each dog or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could never do that. Like if we left out a 50-pound bag of food that got open, Rosie would eat the whole thing. She doesn't know when to stop.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, I mean, just back to what I was saying, I think we talked about this weekend. That's why it's fresh in my head is the next time we have a dog and that kind of stuff, I just want to do more when they're a puppy.
Yeah.
And start building good habits. Watson was a great circumstance for us. It kind of just presented itself to us. We had a family friend saying they knew someone that was bringing him back and he needed a home. So it kind of just fell into our laps at that time. But yeah, research before you do anything. I'm going to spend the next year researching beekeeping because I want to get bees.
Yeah, I'd be about that. If you do the legwork on getting that and finding out what we need, knowing step by step how we need to set it up, I'll help you with it, of course. Mm-hmm. But I think it would be good if you took the lead on that one. Yeah. Just, because
you've got enough hobbies.
I've got the chickens and the garden and all this other stuff. And if we want to add, which I'm cool with adding stuff to the homestead, but yeah, please.
Well, I think bees would be good for the garden too one day.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. And honestly, our neighbors own an apple orchard. I bet they wouldn't be opposed to having the bees around too, because that will help pollinate their trees and whatnot.
You think they'll travel that far?
Yeah, they will.
Huh.
So, not super far, but at least to the immediate areas right over there.
Yeah, I definitely need to do my research on it. Yeah. Speaking of garden, what are my windowsills at home full of?
Oh, yep, the windowsills are full of red Solo cups with tomato plants in them.
Solo cup, come fill me up.
I hate that song.
Me too. I just know it.
Yeah. But basically, I needed to transplant my tomatoes out of the tray that I started them in. And I didn't want to spend the money on, individual
potters.
Planting pots. If you look at, gardening equipment, it's pretty expensive. You can get specific gardening equipment, and it's expensive. Or you can literally have the exact same thing, just it's a solo cup though, and it's like a quarter or less than the price.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm gonna reuse those solo cups next year after I transplant.
Oh yeah,
them.
yeah.
Like,
no, and what they cost me $1.50
Yeah.
for like 30.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess because it's we're peasants, it's a pretty good way to, I guess, to do it. But the tomatoes are actually doing pretty well so far. Like they transplanted well into these new pots. Give them a few more weeks there, and then once it's actually like warm out and they're a decent size and they've, you know, grown into these solo cups, that like at that point they'll be at the perfect size to go right outside.
Yeah. And are these all different kinds of tomatoes?
Yep.
The beefsteaks, the Romas,
Yep. Beefsteaks, Romas, cherry tomatoes.
cherry tomatoes.
There's two types of cherry tomatoes. There's some that we got from the seed packs that I bought this year. And then there's cherry tomatoes from the plants that I saved last year.
Those ones were did well.
They do very well. The plants are huge. The ones that I saved are actually seeds that my dad has been saving year after year, and they just have really good genetics. They're really robust, like cherry tomato plants. So I've got those going, and yeah, we'll find something to do with that. The potatoes are starting to sprout up. The beets are starting to sprout up.
We do need to get progress pictures. I want to make sure we remember to take those.
Oh yeah,
just of all the sprouts and everything popping up, and then like because it'll be cool to see all those photos, like, you know, of like even the stuff inside that's just sprouted to like come fall a full garden like of it, knock on wood that everything goes well. Mm-hmm. I just think it'd be cool to be able to have at each step you took. Because Jake does the brunt of the gardening. Like, I might water once in a blue moon for him.
Yeah.
That's the extent.
Yeah, coming up these next few weeks. Because right now we don't have to weed because everything is planted in there. And you have to let what's planted in there sprout up so you at least know where they're at. Mm-hmm. And then you weed everything else that's not like, obviously that's not the plant that you're trying to grow. So right now I don't have to weed every week because everything is still like sprouting and getting there. But I'd say come like end of this month into June, it's going to be like every week I'm going to have to stay on top of it and be out there. And that's going to be, you know, probably a couple hours of work every weekend, but it's no big deal. And I mean, even right now, like the weeds are kind of growing into the garden plot out there a little bit. Yeah. But like I said, there's nothing really growing there right now. Like it's where the tomatoes and the squash and the vine plants are going to go. So I'm not super worried about it.
But you'll weed them before you plant the tomatoes?
Yeah. I'll till up the area a little bit and
nice.
Yeah. So it's exciting.
Rooster update.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because now both of them are kicked out.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's definitely something we should talk about. So, of the 3 roosters we have, you know, we've been updating the past few weeks about Merlin. He got kicked out of the flock by the big rooster.
He's our porcelain.
Yep, porcelain Old English. And unfortunately, the Seabright, the other bantam rooster, has now, same thing, kind of been banished from the flock from this big rooster. The dilemma that Erica and I are having is really difficult because these, you know, we like to avoid trying to like cull roosters, especially if they're mean and stuff. These little guys are pretty mean.
They're very mean.
But because they're little, they're tolerable.
They're manageable, yeah.
And this really big rooster is actually really friendly. He's never attacked humans. He's good to the hens. Clearly all the hens like him because they side with him rather than the little roosters. But he's beaten the crap out of these little bantams to the point where he's almost killed Merlin. And so what we have to do is we keep Merlin and this other one outside free ranging, and then they sleep in a cat carrier at night, like in our storage area, basically. So it's not that much extra work, but I guess we just have fears that if we try, because we were trying to reintegrate Merlin back into the flock where the other two roosters were still in it. But now that the other rooster's also been kind of banished, I'm worried that these two bantam roosters are now going to team up on the big one that has a friendly demeanor right now, and they're going to make him mean.
Because I think that's what happened with Radagast.
Yeah. And if he becomes mean, that's a different story because he's a big black copper Marin.
So there's like nothing we can. It's not as manageable. Like the little ones, I can stick my boot out and they'll attack my boot, but I feel nothing, and they can't get up as high. Yeah. The big one will make you bleed. He's a big boy, and if he starts getting mean and aggressive to the level they are, like, we have to call him. Yeah. And that sucks. Because it'd be miserable for me to, like, help out. And
yeah. Well, also, when we go out of town, like, for instance, when we come up here to, like, the cabin and, I have my dad or, like, we have a house sitter or someone, like, checking on the chickens, I hate having a big-ass rooster beat the shit out of them. Oh,
yeah, because that happened with our last rooster. Yeah. He got our house sitter's finger. Mm-hmm. Now, luckily, our house sitter's, like, a saint and has been around, like, chickens her whole life. Yeah. So she definitely wasn't, like, upset. She just let us know.
Yeah. So right now, the state in which we have them is we have these two bantam roosters. They get the free range all the time, and they sleep in a cat carrier at night outside the pen from everybody else. And then in the pen in the run is all the other hens and the big rooster and the ducks. So yeah, well, I guess we'll see where we're going from there. But yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to update on that because, we have been updating every week, and this week there was new things transpired. So.
And it's interesting because it seemed like we were making progress with Merlin. Merlin seemed like, because he did have a pretty big, he was the meanest rooster initially, mm-hmm. And then after he got beat up, his demeanor changed, and he wasn't really that mean anymore. But now he's starting to get mean again. And then not only that, but now he's got this other one that's kind of in the same position he is. And it's like...
But by starting to get mean again, let me paint a picture for you. I walk around my yard with a kayak paddle, half a kayak paddle, because these two little roosters gang up on me and beat me up. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm being dramatic about beat me up, but they attack my boots like I can't get anything done. And then they're scaring my dogs, which we're not too upset about Rosie, like, because Rosie needs to learn she needs to stay away from the chickens, and now she has been. Yeah. But yeah, these two little roosters, like, just come at me. No matter where I'm at in the yard, they chase me down. And I don't know if it's mad because I don't bring them treats, or if they have all this pent-up aggression, and I'm the weak link.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Because they're mean to me. They're meaner to me than they are to you. And you never see it, so I don't know how to explain it to you. But these things are little devils.
Yeah, they're definitely meaner to you than they are to me.
You are the hand that regularly feeds them, though, so that is fair.
Yeah.
I was trying to clean out the Suburban to come up here, and I literally had to do it, like, with one hand and one hand armed with a kayak paddle. I'm like, don't start with me. And then I felt bad because the neighbor was out with their kid, and I'm like cussing at these damn roosters.
Yeah. Oh well. The creatures of our house.
Yeah. Again, we do try, because the little roosters are little. That's why we're able to keep them. If they were the size of the Marin or even the Americana, like we had once upon a time, we would have had to call them by now. And we do try everything before that becomes an option.
Yeah. And I guess, that's ultimately what we're trying to do right now is we're trying different, like, tactics and ideas and methods to try to adjust their behavior and see if we can, like, actually keep these roosters. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
When they team up, man, they get meaner. That's why
I was like, okay, I have to stop trying to reintegrate them now. Because now that they've both been banished and they've teamed up, I'm like, oh, they're gonna gang up on the big one. And the big one can handle him. I think the big one, if it was them two versus him, I think the big one would win. But that would be a pretty violent fight, I think.
I don't want him to get mean.
Yeah,
that's my
and
thing.
then that's the thing too. Is I'm like, he's nice right now, and he's kind demeanored.
And also to prevent him getting mean, we need to be holding him every night when we put him to bed.
Yeah.
Because the more you handle your rooster, I feel like.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just think it's funny the things. When I was ranting about the two little roosters, I'm like, these little cocks. Oh, what an unfortunate other name. Cracks me up.
That's probably why they're so mean, because they're little cocks.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. They're compensating.
Yes.
That's the equivalent of them getting a big souped up truck.
Mm-hmm.
Dodge. All Dodge truck owners.
Maybe that will make them not mean. That's
like
the next
Dodge
method.
is the vanity truck. Like they never freaking work. Oh man. Yeah, but Vermont's beautiful. And it's been a nice little...
Vermont is literally the Shire.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
We're recording this on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. So happy May the 4th.
All right. I'm done. Are you done?